Tonight on CTV News at 5.
My God, the people they help. And it's not just every Friday, it's every day.
Seniors stretched thin. Older Maritimers feel the pinch of rising prices.
You're going to want to keep tabs, too, on, cinch bug if it gets really dry, stuff like that. So just, monitor your lawn.
Summer survival, helpful hints to keep your grass green all season long.
I got the ring from my father-in-law, who's now passed. I never thought I'd see it again.
Lost and found, a Good Samaritan dives in to create a special ring reunion.
A sunny start. Sun begins the day on Friday before increasing cloud cover around noon.
Live from the Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopoulos. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, senior stress. Maintaining a home, putting food on the table, and paying the bills can be tricky. And these days, it's harder and harder to get by for those on a fixed income. That is, if they haven't already fallen behind. CTV's Ryan McDonald looks at the struggle many older Maritimers are faced with as the price of living mounts.
Well, Maria, today the federal government announced $1.7 million towards new affordable housing units for seniors in North Sydney. But when you hear what the demand was for people to get into those new apartments, you'll realize that spending was really only a start when it comes to addressing the need that's out there. Jim McKinnon and his wife consider themselves among the lucky ones. They recently moved into one of the brand new seniors apartment units newly opened at the North Sydney Food Bank.
It's free and easy, warm, toasty. Can't ask for any better.
The couple left their home of 45 years to move in here, and while that wasn't easy, they say it was necessary.
Just worried about the general trying to survive. Get wood, bring it home, cut it up, look after this and that and the other. I couldn't do it anymore.
And actually, without advertising, we had 85 applications to come to the building, so we have 19 units here.
That means more than 4 times as many people tried to get into these new units as there is space to house them. And the executive director of the food bank complex says the seniors' housing crunch speaks to a broader struggle for those on a fixed income to get by financially.
They're living in their family homes and they can't afford really to be there, so they're stuck.
What it really says is governments at all levels have more work to do.
CBRM Mayor Cecil Clark says with the cost of living being what it has been in recent years, seniors in the municipality, and everywhere really, still live with a lot of uncertainty and quite frankly need more help.
All 3 levels of government are working together. I look forward to future federal housing initiatives that are going to come down from Prime Minister Carney, and we'll do our job as a municipality to make sure we continue to work with community groups and accelerate outcomes.
Back in his cozy new apartment, Jim McKinnon says while he doesn't need it himself, he sees plenty of other seniors, those who live here and those who don't, using the food bank next door quite regularly.
My God, the people they help. And it's not just every Friday, it's every day.
And Mayor Cecil Clark mentioned to me today that a week from today, there will be another announcement regarding public transit for seniors over on the north side. But as we heard him say in our story, there is so much more that could be done to help seniors who are struggling to live comfortably. Maria?
Thank you, Ryan. CTV's Ryan McDonald for us in Sydney this evening. All right, time to hand things over to Todd Battis, who's standing by with a look at the day's headlines.
Thank you, Maria. Tonight at 6, we're hearing from a broken-hearted father who is coping with the loss of his 3-year-old son. The community is rallying behind the family, and the boy's death prompted new safety measures at their housing complex. This was a story that got a lot of coverage in the past few days, and you will hear from him. He spoke with our Vanessa Wright. That'll be at the top of 6. High-tech changes are coming to the way nurses are trained in New Brunswick. A new program will bring virtual reality in the classroom, and nursing students at UNB will be able to virtually immerse themselves in real-life hospital scenarios. We'll show you how it all works tonight in your newscast. Prince Edward enjoying his second day on, Prince Edward Island. Today he spent time at Abegoit First Nation taking part in traditional activities. It's been 10 years since the prince visited his namesake island, And we will take you there for the visit in your newscast. Let's take you to the CTV Weather Center now. Brianne Foley standing by. Things cooled down a little.
Yeah, you're not so hot today, are you, Todd?
I guess not.
We do see those cooler temperatures, as Todd was saying. We did see them settle throughout the course of today, and we're already seeing those dip in temperatures as we head in the evening tonight. So not too bad temperature-wise for sleeping, especially as we head into Thursday evening. As for our gusting winds, not a whole lot of gusting winds to contend with. We are seeing a little bit more in northern parts of New Brunswick as well as over into Cape Breton Island, but not a whole lot. Now, watching our radar and satellite, a few scattered showers coming through parts of western Nova Scotia as well as western New Brunswick this afternoon. We shouldn't see a whole lot of accumulated rain from that, and heading into Friday, we'll mostly see some sunny skies to start the day, and we're not really going to see that rain impacting into the region until Saturday. So Saturday is when that big system that's coming from eastern parts of Canada will be coming into the region, so that's the time to look out for. But for Friday, we're going to see a sunnier start to the day with clearer conditions overnight. Maria?
Thank you very much, Brianne. We'll check in with Brianne in just a bit. Right now, though, Canada's immigration system is getting a powerful upgrade, and it starts in Nova Scotia.
Thank you, everyone. So good to be here. And
the Nova Scotia Health Innovation Hub hosted an inclusive launch for a new AI-powered platform last night. The app promises to help simplify immigration paperwork for healthcare professionals, skilled tradespeople, and international talent across the country. The time saving alone will be significant.
Healthcare workers are stuck doing immigration paperwork when instead they could be contributing to our beautiful province, taking care of patients, and we're here to make sure it happens with AI.
And to know that we have Max here and his incredible team that have created a tool to help the province in achieving our goals. Tonight was just an incredible opportunity for myself and other government colleagues to really see what impact this app can really have.
It's expected that the app will also help retain healthcare professionals and skilled tradespeople in the province. Move in the right direction. All right, so let's take a break, but first, a preview of what's coming up next.
Hey, it's Emily from Halifax Seed. Coming up next, I'll give you some summer survival tips for your lawn and garden.
The Garden Guide is brought to you by Halifax Seed.
Welcome back. It's time for another edition of the Garden Guide with Emily Trigano, and today we are talking about summer survival.
Absolutely. You know, you've done all of this work to plant the garden, get your lawn looking great, and you just don't want to let it go over the summer. So here's some quick, easy tips to help make it all last through to the fall.
Okay, we need this. So where do we start?
So in the lawn, you're going to keep up with your watering. So think about an inch a week. So think about like a tuna can.
Right.
And if it's really dry and you're going to water your lawn, don't do just a little bit every single day. Put a tuna can on your lawn and give it one really good soaking. So once that tuna can's full, that should be enough water. Okay.
That's a really good tip.
Keep up on your weeding. So I really do like the Weed Be Gone here. Okay. That's going to take care of things like dandelions. So keep up on that.
Right, because if you don't, they'll overtake and then you're done.
Absolutely. You're going to want to keep tabs too on, you know, cinch bug if it gets really dry, stuff like that. So just, you know, monitor your lawn. Then when it's moving into the garden, you know what? Aphids, I've already sprayed for aphids with some insecticidal soap. So aphids are a problem this year. And you normally find the aphids because you see ants. So if you see ants crawling around your garden and up on your trees, I'm going to say look out for aphids. Because
you have aphids.
You may have that problem. If it gets really damp, slugs can also be a problem. And let me tell you, slugs, they can do more damage than you would ever expect overnight. Really? I'm talking eating the entire tomato plant just overnight. So slugs, this is a really great product. I love this this Slug Be Gone. It's great, works wonders. If you do have a lot of ants, because right now I find ants are a bit of a problem in my garden beds, I really like these ant bait traps. It keeps it all contained, does a good job with the ants. So that's like the not so fun stuff. when it keeps up with your garden and, you know, growing your vegetables, flowers, herbs, all that stuff, make sure you're staying up on the fertility. So whatever fertilizer you like, whether it's a granular like this Pro Mix, so we've been using this so far to amend our beds. This Gaia Green, this is a granular as well. Or you could use a water soluble. You want to make sure that your plants are getting nutrients all season long. You're also going to want to make sure you have a really good watering wand. Right. So keep up with the moisture content in your soil beds or in your garden beds. So whether it's a garden in the ground, if it's a raised bed, or if it's a container, all the soil is going to dry out in different areas of your lawn or patio. Okay. So you really want to make sure you're kind of keeping tabs on the moisture content there. And then support. So if you're growing indeterminate tomatoes, for example, make sure you have, whether it's your bamboo poles or your tomato cages, in nice and early so they don't end up getting damaged along the way.
Always amazing advice. This is our last garden guide of the season for now, but we'll see you again in the fall.
You sure will.
Have a great summer.
Yes, you too. Happy summer, everyone.
Well, today would have definitely been a better day to do some gardening as it wasn't so hot outside. Of course, we did see a little bit of rainfall through the western portions of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, but sunny skies, of course, persisted over parts of the region today, and a beautiful shot here looking down on Port Morion, Cape Breton. Of course, I will have a look at the full forecast coming up right after this.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Brianne, what a difference a day makes. Still sunshine, but wow, like the oscillation in temperature is pretty impressive.
I know, being able to go outside, my hair not blowing up, yeah. And you know, you can go outside with a jacket and you're not like dying instantly. Yeah,
lovely.
Wild.
But you know, I have to say, I did like it while it lasted, and I'm hoping that we get more of it, and I think a lot of people are. How's it looking out there?
Yeah, well, we will get some a little bit later next week, but as we take a look at what happened today, it was a beautiful sunny day, a little bit of cloud cover, but we did see those sunny skies earlier at Mineville, Nova Scotia, as we take a look here at our sunrise and sunset times. Of course, as you can tell, it was a little bit cooler, as Maria and I were mentioning, and we are seeing that right now reflected in the current temperatures. So much different than what we saw on the board as of yesterday. So we're seeing those cooler temperatures settling in as we head into the evening. A little bit warmer, though, along that western coast that eastern coast in New Brunswick. Of course, Humidex values not as impactful as they were over the last couple days. So pretty much feeling exactly how those numbers are saying. And as we take a look here at our sustained winds, we're not contending with a whole lot of wind coming through the region. Again, we are seeing a little bit of an increase in gusting winds through parts of New Brunswick, as well as over in eastern parts of Nova Scotia, as well as Cape Breton Island, but nothing major to contend with. Now, watching our forecasted timeline for Friday, we do see a few spotty showers over in Cape Breton Island, but we'll mostly just see an increase of cloud coverage as we head throughout the day. Now, we are going to see a little bit of rain coming through as of the early hours on Saturday morning. So that's what's going to be impacting into the region over the course of the weekend. Again, with that cloud cover, we are going to continue to see a little bit of rainfall coming through. So tonight, mostly clear conditions, which will lead to clearer skies in the morning. More average type temperatures, a little bit cooler up in northern parts of New Brunswick. And then into tomorrow, we see pretty average temperatures for the day, higher UV index, and then again, that cloud cover going to be coming into the region and really impacting around that noon hours when we'll really start to see that coming through. Now, as we head over into Prince Edward Island, a little bit colder than the average temperature for this time of year. We're looking at 19s across the board, and then over into Cape Breton, we'll see a little bit cooler conditions once again, clearing in the morning, so we should see that sun shining through. As we head into central parts of Nova Scotia, we'll start to see that sun as we head out and about to start our day, but again, increasing clouds, pretty much the same over in western parts of Nova Scotia as well. So taking a look into Saturday. Now, that's the day that's going to see some rain coming through. So we are going to see that system that's coming from western parts of Canada from the Great Lakes, and that's really going to be impacting into the western portions of New Brunswick as well as into Nova Scotia. Not quite into PEI on Saturday. Mostly we'll see that head into Prince Edward Island on Sunday, but we should start to see some of that clear out. We are going to have some spotty showers, especially in the early hours of Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, that rain is going to stick around for a little bit. However, it should be clearing out and heading east towards Prince Edward Island as well as over towards Newfoundland and Labrador. So we will have another rainy, wet weekend. We do have slightly cooler temperatures as well, but then as we head into next week, we'll start to see a little bit of a warm up once again once this low pressure system moves out of our region. But yes, it is going to be one of those weekends that we are going to see some rainfall. So now let's check in with our weather watcher, who is Spencer Swindle, and he is 10 years old. And Spencer actually sent us a picture of a rattlesnake protecting its egg on a hot day in the desert. So thank you so much, Spencer, for sending that along. What a great photo. That sun shining there. And of course, if you have a picture you'd like to send us, send an email to kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca, or of course, you can always mail it to us. Maria?
Thank you, Brianne. So a nearly 200-year-old house in Amherst, Nova Scotia has been given new life. CTV's Josh Smith gives us a tour of the transformed space that was preserved with affordability in mind.
A drive down Victoria Street in Amherst reveals the town has a lot of century-old homes. One local construction company is proving that preserving one can go a long way.
This house was originally constructed in 1857. The former owner told me they burned about 11 cords of wood and a couple of tanks of oil every year.
Tom Mattinson and his wife were tired of watching the 168-year-old home decline over time, so they bought it.
Like, we stripped out the interior walls, we built a whole other wall structure, we retrofitted all the windows, upgraded ventilation systems, upgraded heating systems.
Construction manager Tim Stevens says this job took 8 months, and the renovations at times were a challenge.
One being the absolutely ridiculous adventure it was to build this roof, a mansard roof with elliptical windows in it, all done with sheet steel. Americana style is a feat that not many people would even take on or know how to approach.
Stevens says in the end, it was all worth it.
That we're trying to meet codes that are going to be in place in like 2035. This is an almost 200-year-old home now. We want it to be another 200-year-old home.
Some portions of the walls are original. They brought in local artist Jackie Wheaton to fill in the gaps.
When it comes to these kind of places, especially Victorian homes or any old homes, I don't like when too much modernization comes into it. I don't like taking away the character because we only have so many limited homes that have that kind of character.
This old home with a new lease on life will be put to good use as affordable housing.
This project alone is 7 units, so that comprises of 3 2-bedrooms and 4 1-bedrooms.
So our 1-bedrooms all included here are $850 and the 2-bedrooms all included here are $1,000.
This project highlights the potential for modernizing historic homes in our region. Josh Smith, CTV News, Amherst.
Wonderful. Thank you, Josh. And amazing workmanship. What a gorgeous house. All right, time for a break. When we come back, we're going to feature a full circle moment.
And one of the hooks caught my finger, and I stood where I was, and basically my ring was on the bottom.
A local diver helps resurface a family heirloom. The heartwarming details are next.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Hey, tomorrow is the last day to get on Aaron and Peter's payroll and win your share of 10 grand.
Go to move100halifax.ca right now to register.
Welcome back. Not all heroes wear capes. The one you're about to meet prefers diving gear. CTV's Mike Lamb has the story with a special ring to it.
Yesterday I was swimming with the kids. We had a floaty right here. I went to spin it and one of the hooks caught my finger, and I stood where I was, and basically my ring was on the bottom, and it was very murky and very hard to find. Left here devastated. I got the ring from my father-in-law, who's now passed. I asked for his daughter's hand in marriage, and he gave me his father's ring, so I thought that was very, very valuable to me. I never thought I'd see it again. As soon as I got home, my wife reached out to a group on Facebook. She got a response quite quick.
I'm Nate. I'm in the Royal Canadian Navy now for the last 7 years, weapons system technician. When I have time off, I like to go out into the water, do metal detecting on the shorelines and stuff. Last night, I got a message there on the Facebook, and that's when Alicia messaged me, and I was like, oh, what's going on? She gave me a brief rundown. I just kind of went out there and started going with my detector. And luckily enough, when I swung over it, you know, it makes the noise and vibrates, and that told me I was dead on. So then I had my hand held and got a little closer, and then boom, found it, right?
Hey guys, yeah, so after a bit of looking around, I found it. And it was just right in here, probably like 5 feet of water. But I'm gonna be super happy to return this to them.
Next thing you know, I woke up to a picture of my ring in his hand. It was like, it's too good to be true. Showed up here to meet him, and I just couldn't hold my tears. I was just crying, and it was just tears of joy, right? The ring's home. It's on my father-in-law's ashes, so it's gonna stay there.
It made me feel pretty good when I came out of there with it, just to see him and how happy he is, appreciative. Like, it's a win-win for everybody, right? And I got to do what I love, which is go in the water and detect.
A huge thanks to Nate. Heroes don't always wear capes. He's my hero today, honestly.
He's all of our heroes.
Absolutely.
What an awesome story.
Oh.
Nate the Great. I know Nova Scotia already has a Nate the Great, but this is Nate the Great too.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Awesome.
Got to give credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a beautiful day they had for diving and swimming, huh?
Yeah, exactly. A beautiful day, not too hot. Same kind of situation tomorrow, but I'll have more of that on 6.
Excellent. I want to tell you, coming up tomorrow here on CTV News at 5, we are live from the first annual Halifax Music Fest. It's been almost 20 years, can you believe it, since Nickelback performed on the Hill, and tomorrow they return to the Garrison grounds to kick off a jam-packed weekend of music. Katie Kelly will be live from the show talking to fans, and Ian Thornley of Big Wreck. That's at 5 o'clock. Other headliners this weekend include Lenny Kravitz Saturday night and The Killers on Sunday. What a show! More tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a great night. Brianne and Todd will be back at 6, and I'll see you tomorrow.